Hey guys, this is Jake with Optimus Futures, and in this video, I'll be showing you one of Sierra Chart's newer features, the Simplified Automated Trading Study. Now, to apply this study, we'll first need to open up a chart. So I would suggest going through the Find Symbol button. You can find the Find Symbol button labeled as FS in the upper left-hand corner, just to the right of the connection bar. Click on the FS symbol and find the symbol you'd like to open up a contract for. I'll be opening up an intraday chart for the E-mini S&P 500 of June 2018. So click on the Open Intraday Chart, and now we have a chart in our background. And you can now close the Find Symbol button. So now that we have our chart open, we can apply studies to a chart. So to apply a study, head up to the top left-hand corner of the window and click on Analysis, and then click on Studies. You can also press the F6 button for a shortcut. And now that we have our studies open, we have to apply two different studies to this to activate automated trading. So you can actually mix and match studies for automated trading, but it's worth noting that the first study you apply will provide the next study with the alert condition to make the automated trading take place. That being said, we can now apply studies to our graph. So first, if we head over to the left-hand side, we'll first need to add the study that alerts our condition. And for my demo, I'll be showing a moving average, more notably a simple moving average. And your studies are labeled by alphabetical order. So if we look for moving average simple, we'll just scroll down to the MO. And now that we're in moving average, we'll look for simple. You can highlight and then click add, and it'll add that study to our chart. And I'm not going to get into the settings right now. I'll cover that in just a minute. So we can click OK. And now this study is applied to our graph. And for the second study, the one that will actually automate trading for us, we'll need to click, or add, I should say, the trading system based on alert condition. So if we scroll down in the studies available and go to TRA, since it is in alphabetical order, and find the trading system based on alert condition right here, we can now add that study to our graph as well and click OK. So I just wanted to make note of, and if you notice, every time you apply a new study to a graph, it is given a corresponding ID. You can see right to the left of the study name, they have the corresponding IDs with them in the order that they are placed in. So for our moving average simple, it is given ID 1. And for our trading system based on alert conditions, it is given ID 2. And these IDs will come into play in just a second when you create your alert condition formula. As for the order we put our studies in, I would always suggest to have the first ID or the first study we applied to the graph, the study that will make the condition pop for our automatic trading. And what I mean by that is, as you can see, I have placed the moving average simple as a first study to the graph. That way, every time we reach a high or low simple moving average, it will notify our automatic trading to alert, and an automatic trade will be placed. Now, applying studies to the graphs themselves are simple enough. The difficult part of this is applying the settings themselves. So as for settings, I'll first go into the simple moving average. You can double click this or highlight it and then click on settings. Now there's actually not much to change here, but if you would like to change the color of the simple moving average once it is applied to the graph, you can go into the subgraphs category and click on the color box and change it to a color that is more visually appealing to you. I'm going to keep it as a default for now, and I'll show you what it looks like when it is applied to the graph. So for now, you can just back out, click OK or cancel, click OK or cancel again, and now we can go into trading system based on alert conditions. This time I'll double click, and now our settings are open. Go over to settings and input now. Now these settings are honestly the most crucial part to getting this to work. These settings need to be accurately set. Therefore, when an alert condition is met, automatic trading will take place. So first up, I'll go through each of the inputs, and then I'll show you the alert formula that you will need to enter in. So first up, for our first input, we have enabled. This must be on for this to work. So you can double click that, scroll down to the drop box here, and click on enabled. Next up, we have number of bars to calculate. By default, it is 2000, and I believe it will work with 2000, but I personally set mine at 2. That way I'm working with lower volume. It's worth noting here that it must be a minimum of 2. If you have this set at 1, this will not work and automatic trading will not take place. So once again, it must be a minimum number of 2. You can have anything more, but you cannot have lower than 2. Up next, we have order action on alert. And this is the type of order that will be placed when your alert condition formula is met and automatic trading does take place. So if we double click that and go to our drop down box here, as you can see, we have the 4 options. We can go long entry, we have a long exit, we have a sell entry or a sell exit. Now this really depends on the current position you have. If you don't have any position, you'll obviously want a buy or sell entry. Or if you already have a position established, we'll go with a buy exit or a sell exit. Personally for me, I'm going to do a buy entry. That way I go long into the market. Next up for our inputs, we have the evaluate bar on close only. Now I did run into some problems earlier before setting this to no. By default, it is on yes. I would suggest turning this on no. It's really up to you. But again, my formula did not tick until I had this set to no, and it took me a little while to figure out what was going on. So for this demo, once again, I'm going to show you what worked for me, and I put this on no. And next up, we have send trade orders to trade service. Now this is for if you are trading on a live account. I'm personally on simulation mode, and if you are on simulation mode, this must be set to no. And it's also worth noting that if you're on simulation mode, you need to have that activated. And to have that activated, I'm just going to back out of this real quick. So I'm just going to apply my settings, click OK, click apply, and click OK once more. And if we go to trade, on the very top, you'll see trade simulation mode on. And if we click on this, we can deactivate it, and this will put us in the live server. But once again, I'm just trading on the simulated servers, so I will keep this activated. And because of that, I need to keep that setting as no. So now we'll need to navigate back to our studies. So you can go back on the top, click on the analysis tab, and go to settings. And now we can go back into the settings of our trading system based on alert condition, double click that, and now we'll continue from where we left off. By default, the maximum position allowed is at 1, maximum long trades per day is at 2, and maximum short trades per day is at 2 as well. You can adjust these settings to your liking. I kept them on default, and once again, like I said, I am on the simulation server, so this is not a huge priority for me. The priority was to get the alert condition to tick, and that was done so. So once again, I left these at default. You can change these to whatever you like. For our next input, we have the enable debugging output. This isn't necessary at all by any means, but if your alert condition formula isn't working for whatever reason, I would suggest activating this, and I'm going to activate this now. That way we get some feedback from the system on why possibly our alert condition isn't working, and let me show you where to find that. So if we click apply, click OK, and we'll close out one more time. If for whatever reason your alert condition formula is not working, you can head over to trade and go down to trade service log. Here, once our alert is in place and our formula is active, we'll get some feedback on why or why not possibly our condition formula is or is not working, and I'll show you that in just a second once the formula is applied. So for now, we can cancel out of the trade service log and head back up to our studies and go into the settings. And we'll continue from where we left off. The next input we had was cancel all working orders on exit. This is self-explanatory. If you exit the platform, you're canceled, or your working orders will be canceled. This is personal preference, but since I'm going to keep my platform open for now, I'm going to keep this on no. Next up, we have allow trading only during time range. Again, this is up to you personally. I'm going to keep it on no. And the next two settings that we have are the time ranges that we can set. And once again, I will be keeping this on by default. And for our final setting, we have allow only one trade per bar. This is up to personal preference, but I kept mine on yes. So Now that we have all our settings in place, we can click apply. And just briefly, you'll notice that we have points on high and points on low for our simple moving average. If we have our entry set at sell, a purple orb will be placed at the low points of our simple moving average just to notify us when our formula will tick, and that's designated by a purple orb. And if we have our settings right here as a buy entry, there'll be green orbs at our high points to notify us when we're going to buy. And you can change these colors to your liking, but I'll keep them as default for now. And next up, we'll need to actually apply our formula to have our alert condition set and activate. So first, make sure the enabled checkbox is activated. Again, because if this is not activated, then there's no reason for an alert condition. Nothing will activate and nothing will take place. So if you have that activated, make sure you also select the alert only once per bar. That way you'll get a notification only once per bar. Now for potentially the most crucial aspect of this video, the alert condition formula. If you have an incorrect formula, no simple moving average alert condition will be populated, therefore no automatic trading will take place. So it's absolutely crucial that you get this process correct. And because of that, I would suggest following the exact formula that I have. So first up, make sure you type in an equal sign, and then every single variable from now on will be in caps. So we'll type in cross, C-R-O-S-S, from, F-R-O-M, below, B-E-L-O-W, left parentheses, C, comma, space, ID1, dot, SG1, close parentheses. And as I mentioned before, each study will have its own unique identifier. As you can see right here, our moving average is identified as ID1, and that's why we put an ID1 in our formula. Essentially, this is saying to activate ID1, this simple moving average, on our subgraph 1, which is this graph. So once you have the formula typed in correctly, click apply, click OK, click apply, and click OK once more. And I don't know if you just noticed that, but as soon as I applied it, we hit one of our simple moving averages. It's actually gone now, but immediately a green orb popped up right here, and we hit one of our simple moving averages. Now, I didn't have audio recording on my screen, but when you do hit one of those simple moving averages, you will hear a ding to notify you that your alert condition formula has been met and an automatic trade has been placed. Now, let me show you where you can find out if your trade has been actually placed or not. Oh, once again, I just hit a simple moving average right where my cursor was in the green orb. Therefore, a simple moving average has been hit and our trade did take place. Now, as I mentioned before, you will hear that ding when your alert condition formula is met and the trade is taken place. And to confirm this, we can head over to the trade activity log. To find the activity log, just head up to the top corner of your screen, click on the trading tab, and navigate your way down to trade activity log. And there's also a shortcut for it, Control-Shift-A. And if we click on that, you'll notice the bottom 3 cells here. If we scroll over just a bit, the system based on alert condition formula was met. I activated a buy entry, and we see our start time, our stop time, and we can keep on expanding this out to see the criteria that was met. And this is all the settings that we activated in the study settings. That way you see it is represented accurately here. We can scroll down, we can see the order, we can see the order type, we can see the quantity, and we can see the buy or sell type. And we can see our status here, the price that was filled, the quantity, the account it was on, whether we open or close. And I actually didn't get the chance to show you this, but you can change the quantity that you would like to trade with. If we head over to trade once again, and we can click on attach trade window to chart. If you just select one of the quantities here, when the trade condition formula is met, it will automatically place the amount of trades here that we have set. So if we have it on 3, for example, once we hit a simple moving average on a chart, 3 orders will automatically be placed at one time. So once again, if we just go back to our trade activity log, I'll scroll down just to show you again. As you can see, the simulated order was accepted and the trade simulation was filled at 2714.25. That was the market price at that current time. So that pretty much covers it for the main functions of this feature. There's one more thing that I did mention previously that I have not shown yet. And that's for those of you that enabled the debugging feature underneath the study settings. So when you have the debugging enabled, the system will notify you when something goes wrong or just give you notifications about your alert condition formula. And you can find these alerts under Trade and then go down under the Trade Service Log. Now, as you can see here, my Trade Service Log is fully populated and it's been giving me notifications for every time my simple moving average hits. And it's actually telling me that my buy entry signal was ignored because I am already existed in the market. I have a long position already established. For those of you that are running into some problems, and I did run into problems myself, I ran into this alert right here: trading is not allowed. Reason, formula state has not changed. When I was given this alert, I did have to change some things around until I finally got things working. But as you can see here, it'll specifically tell you what is going wrong with your formula and provide you with necessary feedback to help you correct any mistakes that you may encounter. Thanks for watching. If this video helped, feel free to give it a thumbs up. If you have any further questions, don't hesitate to give us a call or send us an email. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more informative content related to the futures market.